Hello, welcome back. Today we have a 30-minute seated yoga session where the focus is on developing flexibility and improving circulation of the body's whole energy system. In turn, this helps to bring greater ease of motion for the whole body and a wonderful feeling of releasing tension. These asanas are energizing, yet also deeply relaxing. Remember to focus on your breath as you move through each exercise to help release any unwanted emotions, thoughts, and anxieties. Now let's begin. Sit with your legs crossed, right leg in front of your left leg. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths and adjust yourself so that you're comfortable. Now move forward with your arms outstretched in front of you and try and keep your back straight and just move down as far as you can without forcing and without squeezing your belly. And back up. And now let's switch our legs so the left leg and foot is actually in front of the right. And let's repeat that exercise. You can place your forehead on the floor and just support yourself with your outstretched arms, keeping your sit bones on the floor. Back up. Now let's do a little twist to the right, placing that right hand behind you, and the left hand can hold onto your knee, to your right knee. And now, let's switch our legs, right leg in front, and let's twist to the left, placing that left hand and fingertips behind you, and look up as you twist. Back to the front. Take 1 or 2 deep breaths. Arms up in the air, palms together. Look up. And bring your hands down to a prayer if you like. As we get ready for our session. And now, let's do a little bit of a twist to the left. Right arm up above your head, left hand on your shin or your knee, and just kind of bend to the left. And let's repeat that on the right side. And just bend to the right and look up. This is great for the obliques and gives you a nice stretch on the sides of your body. Soles of your feet together in a cobbler's pose. You can hold on to your feet and just relax for a moment as you adjust into this pose, but don't force it. You can also just cross your legs if you like, if this is too difficult, and just bend forward over your feet, holding on to them with both hands, back straight. And lift up, legs apart in a wide angle, seated forward bend. Just take 1 or 2 breaths. Just relax between each pose. There's no need to rush, no need to force. And you can keep your hands on the mat upright, or you can start to bend over your legs as far as you can with your arms stretched out in front of you, palms on the floor. Or you can hold on to your big toes with your index finger and thumb. See if your chest can touch the floor, but if not, again, don't force. Just go as far down as you can without pain. And just wiggle your feet. You can do little circles with your feet, with your ankles. This is really nice for releasing any tension in the feet or the ankles. And now, keeping that left leg out to the side, bring in your right foot towards your groin and bend over that left leg, holding on to your knee or your shin with your right hand, or left hand, excuse me. And hold on to your toes with your right hand if you can. But if you can't, don't worry. Just do what's comfortable for you and see if you can keep those sit bones on that right side on the floor. If they start lifting up too much, then just make the bend a little less deep. And now let's switch to the other side and bring in that left leg, bending that knee so the foot comes towards the groin, and bend over with that left arm over the right leg. And touch your toes or sit up a little bit more, whatever's comfortable. Keeping that left sit bone on the mat. And just breathe. Deep breath once or twice. Back down. Feet together in a cobbler's pose, also known as a butterfly pose. Knees down as far towards the mat as you comfortably can do. And you can move the feet a little bit further out in front of you and bend down over them if you can. Or again, just stay in normal cross-leg position if you can't do this. Back up. Now we're going to stretch out that left leg and place the right foot in a half lotus position, or you can just place it against your left leg if that's more comfortable for you. And hold on to that left leg, the toes, with your left hand, and placing your right hand kind of wrapped behind your back in a very deep stretch. Now let's straighten out the legs and repeat that exercise on the other side, placing that left foot on top of the right thigh in a half lotus position, or place the sole of your foot against the inside of that right leg, if that's easier for you. Now hold on to your toe with that right hand, left arm wrapped around, with your hand reaching over towards your hip or your right thigh if you have long arms. If you have short arms like me, just place the hand behind your back as far as it will go. Now we're just going to stretch over that right leg and hold on to the foot with both hands, or just place them close to the foot in a stretch, keeping that left knee bent and your foot against the inner right thigh. And let's repeat that on the right side. Right leg bent. Just bend over that left leg and feel this wonderful stretch in your tendons and your hips. Go as far down as you can without putting pressure on your belly or, affecting your breathing. Make sure you can always breathe properly. Now you're going to do a different exercise, keeping that left leg straight out in front of you. You're going to place that foot down on the mat, that right foot, and wrap both arms around that leg and intertwine your fingers while you lean forward. And back up. Just pause for a moment, no need to rush. And let's repeat that on the left side. So just bend that knee and stand on that left foot with that leg, and then wrap your arms around it, keeping that right leg straight out in front of you. Interlace your fingers and bend forward. If you can't do this, don't worry. You can just stay seated up, just keeping that left leg bent. You don't have to bend over it if that's too difficult. Now let's just sit down with our legs straight out in front of us. Seated forward bend. And reach towards your feet, interlacing your fingers in front of your feet, and just bend over your straight or bent legs, whichever is easiest for you. And back up. Hold on to your ankles if that's easier. Now let's bend that right leg. And let's do a twist, placing the left arm kind of on the outside of the right knee, and twist. And look round. Support yourself with your right hand on the mat. And now let's repeat that on the left side. Bringing that right arm over the left knee and just twist. And just enjoy this amazing asana. It releases so much tension. And just sit up, relax for a moment, take a breath. place your hands behind you and lift yourself up, fingers towards your toes. And just let your head fall back. Sit back down. Bring that left leg behind you and fold it. And lean forward. One leg forward bend. Keeping that left leg bent. You're sitting on the inside of that bent leg rather than on top of it. If this is too difficult, don't worry. Just do the full seated forward bend instead. Now let's repeat that on the right side, bending that right leg, arms up in the air, and fold over that left outstretched leg. Breathe. Move back up slowly. And let's adjust ourselves now. And sit on your ankles for a moment as you adjust yourself. And now sit between your feet. And we're going to try do a little bit of a back stretch there. Just to get used to this position as we lower ourselves down to the mat with our back straight on the mat. And bend those arms over your head. See if you can keep your lower back pressed against the mat, but if it lifts a little bit, that's okay. You can also interlace your fingers over your head. If you can't bend down all the way back to the floor, then just sit up a little bit and just kind of rest on your elbows or your hands if this is too much. Don't do this exercise if it hurts your knees. Okay, now let's adjust our position into seated pose with legs outstretched in front of us. Just take a moment to breathe, relax, pause. And now we're going to practice doing the lotus position. This is a half lotus, placing that right foot on top. You can adjust this, and now you can lift the left foot up, creating the full lotus. If this is comfortable for you, don't force it. This may take a while to gradually develop into. You can start off by just doing normal cross-leg seated positions until you get used to this. Legs out in front of you again. And now place that left foot on top. And we're going to bring the right foot over. We've just switched our feet, basically, our legs. Close your eyes for a moment and breathe. Or you can do a half lotus if that's more comfortable. There's no pressure, just enjoy the moves and experiment. Start with the normal seated positions, and then you can move on to half lotus and then full lotus as you get more comfortable with this and your body becomes more flexible. Now we're going to try something else. Okay, we're going to place that left knee on top of the right knee in a kind of stacked legs or stacked knee position. Again, this may be too difficult, so you can just leave this out if it is. And see if you can just fold over those stacked knees with your arms out in front of you. And just hold that for a moment. And back up. Now reach towards your back with that right arm and see if you can hold on to those fingers of the left hand in a kind of interlaced fingers behind your back, and then fold forward if you can. You may find that one side of your body is actually more flexible than the other, and this is normal. It just means you have to work more on that more stiff side. Over time, it will release. Now let's exchange the knees so that now the right knee is going to be stacked on top of the left. And just adjust your legs gently without forcing into whatever position or whatever version of this feels good for you and doesn't cause pain. Let's fold over those knees again. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now let's see if we can move that left arm behind your back and hold on to the fingers of that right hand. If you can, or just place it on your back if you can't, if you're not that flexible that you can clasp your fingers together. Back up. You can give yourself a foot massage while you're here. Now, cross your legs again in front of you. Right leg in front. And just bend over those crossed legs. And relax. Let go of any tension in your legs, in your hips. Just surrender it as you breathe deeply. Now back up. Let's switch the crossing of the legs. Left leg in front. And bend forward. Taking a deep breath in through the mouth, out through the nose, and release any tension on the out breath. back up. Now let's turn around and let's sit with our legs out in front of us, seated forward bend. Interlace your fingers over your feet. Bend forward as far as you comfortably can, still being able to breathe properly. And once again, hands up in the air and fold over those straight legs. Just let go. And relax. Relax within each move. Now just lower yourself down onto your back into a reclined butterfly pose, soles of your feet together. If this feels a little tight, you can always just adjust it so that you stretch out one leg and bend one and just alternate. Let's try and stretch out that left leg and bend to the side, the right knee, keeping your foot placed against your left inner leg, thigh. And you can kind of push it down slightly with your hand, but don't force. Let's try that on the left side, bending that left knee to the left side, keeping that foot against that right leg. Just kind of bend it, little bends, as far down as you can without forcing those tendons. And now we're going to do a different kind of bend. Just hold on to your right shin with that left foot over the right knee. And now repeat that, placing that right foot over the left knee while you pull that shin towards you. This is really great for releasing any tension in the glute area and the hips. Legs out in front of you as you lay down in Savasana. Relax. Adjust your body, any little moves or anything that help you to feel more relaxed. Hands by your sides, palms face up. Breathe gently. Try to mindfully release any tension in the lower legs, upper legs, hips, upper body, arms, head. And you can stay in that position for as long as you want. But for now, let's sit up, legs crossed, and let's bring this wonderful session to a close. Arms up above your head, palms together, down towards your heart in a prayer. Thank you.